We are excited now to be joined by Rakeem Miles. Rakeem is a cartoon artist, a rapper, a musician. He's kind of one of those guys who can do it all. Rakeem, hello. Thanks for joining us here on DT Daily.
Hey, man. What's up?
Thanks so much for hopping in. Where are you at right now?
I'm actually in Hollywood, California. I'm at my crib right now.
Nice. Well, like I said, you're one of those people who's talented in like a bunch of different areas, which makes me extremely jealous. You're incredible, and I've been following some of the stuff that you've been doing, Rakeem. And I wanted to ask you this, just to start off. You know, you're a cartoon artist, rapper. Like, which one came first? Which was your first love?
Music. And I actually started music through my uncle. He was basically a gospel rapper, and I would travel around with him. And my love for music came from, him playing beats and doing shows and me just traveling with him around the time that I was like 11. And then I really jumped into it once I first heard the clips, the grinding song. Mm-hmm. I was like too young to really understand exactly why Pharrell was all jumping all in the video and shit. But, it pretty much came down to like, just seeing that overall aesthetic of that, and just seeing like how, just the lifestyle and everything really impacted my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So
that's what came first, and then Boondocks.
Of course,
that was amazing. So like that was like another thing that really helped gravitate me to the cartoons and stuff like that. But yeah, so that came later after the music, though.
Yeah, and so that so that was the second one. I mean, that makes sense if you were traveling around, as a kid on going around on a gospel tour. I can only imagine what that was like. The different kinds of music you were exposed to, just that lifestyle at such a young age. I mean, that had to have a huge impact on you.
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about because I want to talk about some of the cartoons and talk about that side as well. And we want to talk a little bit about tech, but let's talk about, you have a new album that, let's see, has it come out yet? It's for Action Figure Miles?
Yeah, it's not, there's no like release date yet.
Okay.
I did do a listening party like a few days ago. So we're still working on like the date and everything for it, but the album is completely finished. It's packaged and it's ready to go. We're just waiting to figure out a release date right now.
Nice. What kind of technology do you use when you're recording? Like, because if you're on the go a lot, do you have a specific program that you go to?
Yeah, Logic. That's the DAW. And then I also use this thing called Rolling. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I'm not, actually.
It's like a piano, but you can also like it's really weird. Like you can kind of like glide your fingers around the board, and it follows like it picks up the sounds. Like if you just like swipe, it'll pick up that sound. Like it's kind of like drawing sound. Like, you know what I mean? Like kind of drawing sound, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
It's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, no, actually, now that you said it, I have seen that before. But you're right. I think that's the best explanation you can say is drawing drawing the music, so to speak.
It's like really, really weird, but I like it, and you can actually use it on your phone. So that's like, yeah.
How has that influenced you? Being this lifelong musician, like how has the technology influenced how you write? Does it change anything for you? I mean, other than the convenience factor, do you listen to things differently now?
Yeah, because like a lot of these new electronics, as far as musical electronics, like they have like new sounds in them that like if you use the stock sounds within the program or within the system, you can get sounds that people normally don't use because they're always on the internet looking for just sounds on the internet that most likely everyone else is using, so no one's paying attention to the sounds that are actually in the machine,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one really cool thing that this has helped me is because just hearing new sounds also like and it inspires me. I get inspiration from it, and it's better for me to write to, just hearing sounds that like I'm like, okay, this is like completely different. This is unique. Like this is something that can, brand and mold mold a new sound for me. So those things make me excited.
That makes sense. Yeah, just getting exposed to something different, than like you said, what everybody else is using and hearing.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wanted to ask, so as far as the animation, so what got you into that side of it? Like other than, watching Boondocks and being like, okay, this is hilarious. There's a big leap there from watching that and finding it funny to being like, oh, I'm gonna make one of these.
So basically, I came up with the writing, and then the concept and how I wanted things to look, and then I had an animator come in and do, basically mold my vision. So it all started out from my first album where I was blue, and I just wanted to figure out how I can turn that character from the Depression album that I put out years ago into an actual character in a cartoon, and also like a life, like a real life character. As you can see here,
Nice.
I have him in my house right now.
That's awesome.
Have, the book and all this stuff, and I always wanted to bring that character to life, and I just I thought about Toy Story and all the things that inspired me, and it just made me want to make create a cartoon, but more of a raunchy cartoon inspired by stuff like Boondocks and Rick and Morty and various other cartoons that I love to watch and everyone else loves to watch.
Yeah,
as well.
I could definitely see the influence in there, but I watched part of Dante's Toys earlier today, and it's legitimately hilarious. Dude, like you struck something with that. Yeah. So where are you at right now with Dante's Toys, and where is it going forward?
So right now, we're just finishing up. Like we actually just finished the first episode. We're working on actually getting a placement for the cartoon. Looking for more writers. We're gonna take it to the next level at this point. I have been in talks with a couple guys from Adult Swim, so we're just trying to figure out a situation with some writers over there to help out and help gauge this entire situation that we have going on with the cartoon, and just pretty much help it expand, and just make sure that all the writing and everything is just is done in more of a professional way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, set up for television for that Adult Swim.
Exactly.
Which I can see this would be a perfect fit for Adult Swim. It's kind of what I thought of when I was watching it. I'm like, yep, that just fits right in there with all of that. Well, I know we don't have a ton of time, but I did want to ask you a couple other questions. So obviously, you're into superheroes, I would say. Is that fair to say?
Heck yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah.
There's so many ways we could go with this, but who's your favorite superhero of all time?
If
you had to pick.
Let me think. That's actually a really good one.
Or maybe we can narrow it down in the Marvel. We'll do Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who's been your favorite?
Well, I was gonna go with Spider-Man first, but as far as let me think though. I don't know. Overall, I would say Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man's not really. Is he even Marvel?
Yeah, he's Marvel. Yeah, they brought him over into the cinematic one. So yeah, so he's Marvel.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Spider-Man would be it. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Shoot, man.
These are the hard-hitting questions we're bringing in here.
I'm trying to shoot silly string. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So, silly string, and then I'm just trying to throw one foot off and just like smack a dude and then throw the foot back on and keep walking.
I like it.
That's like,
That's the superpower. All right, perfect. Yeah. Well, Rakeem, how can everybody follow along with everything that you're doing? All these different talents, everything that you have working on. Like, is there one good place people can go to follow you?
You can actually go to my social media. I have Instagram and I have Twitter. Twitter is Rakeem Miles, just Rakeem Miles, Miles. And then Instagram is Rakeem Miles Raps, Rakeem Miles, Miles, Raps.
Nice.
For Instagram. Bow.
Awesome. Well, Rakeem, thank you so much, for taking some time out of your day to do this. Looking forward to the album. Looking forward to seeing Dante's Toys. Like, you're awesome. Thanks for hopping on DT Daily.